All right, Shalom. This is the fifth day of Hanukkah, and we're going to be reading tonight from First Maccabees chapter 3, verses 1 through 30. So we'll blow the horn, the shofar, to call the people. So may the Most High hear us, have mercy on us, and deliver us. All right. All right, happy Hanukkah, Yahweh. All right, we'll get jumped off in a few minutes, a few moments, a few seconds. All right, so we're in chapter 3. We're going to go ahead and start reading from verse 1. Okay. We'll start reading from verse 1.
First Maccabees chapter 3, verse 1.
Did you want to pass the mic, or you want to go ahead and continue?
Let us continue. Then his son Judas, called Maccabeus, rose.
Remember now, the father has died now, right? The father has passed away. All right, the leader of the whole group has passed away. Now remember, all these people are Israelites too, so there's already a sense of unity, because they're not just united, through a camp structure or a church or through a group. They're united because they're countrymen. So picture this like somebody invading America, or somebody invading, Cuba, or somebody invading your country, and then you all band together. So this is exactly what's happening now. So don't look at this as like a religious event. This is a national event by ethnic Israelites to keep themselves free to worship how they want to worship. But this is about religious freedom, as you would call it. This is about cultural respect for the indigenous people. Well, we weren't really indigenous, but cultural respect for the people of the land of Israel. All right, go ahead.
And all his brethren helped him, and so did all they that held with his father, and they fought with cheerfulness the battle of Yasharallah.
So they were fighting, and they were glad to be fighting. All right, they were glad to be fighting for their people. They were glad to be fighting for freedom. Read.
So he got his people great honor, and put on a breastplate as a giant, and girt his warlike harness about him.
So he had on a lot of war instruments, his soldier's uniform, all right, to protect his loins, and to protect his elbows, and to protect his shins, all right? So he wasn't just going into the battlefield, with just a tunic on for war, but he had actual, metal type of, and bone type of breastplates to keep his organs and skin from getting hurt too bad if somebody hit him. Read.
And he made battles, protecting the host with his sword. In his battles he was like a lion, and like a lion's whelp, roaring for his prey.
So he was like a lion. That means he was ferocious in battle. All right, read.
For he pursued the wicked and sought them out.
So those that were lawless and persecuted them. So those people that were not keeping the law. Everything we're reading about Hanukkah is about the law. Read.
And burnt up those that vexed his people. Wherefore the wicked shrunk for fear of him, and all workers of iniquity were troubled.
So it said he burnt up the people who were bothering the people. He burnt up the enemies of Israel. All right, and the lawless people that they want to keep the commandments, they got scared. All right, go ahead.
Because salvation prospered in his hand.
So salvation was coming to the people through his hands, which means that he was seen as a type of savior. He was seen as a savior. All right, he was seen as a savior because he was delivering the people from oppression and from conquest. Read.
He grieved also many kings, and made Jacob glad with his acts, and his memorial is blessed forever.
So many of the leaders of our people, and many of the leaders of our people were helping him and working with him All right. Read that part again.
And made Jacob glad with his axe.
The top part.
He grieved also.
Call your verse.
Verse 7. He grieved also many kings.
So many of the leaders around him that had sent their men to fight with the Greeks, all right, the other nation around us were helping our enemies to conquer us. And he grieved them, which means he made them very sad and depressed because we were killing all their men. All right, go ahead.
And made Jacob glad with his axe.
So when we were glad, the other nation were grieving. And made Jacob glad with the axe means that he was doing war feats, destroying enemies. All right, go ahead.
And his memorial is blessed forever.
Mm-hmm.
Moreover, he went through the cities of Judah, destroying the ungodly.
So all the ungodly people, he destroyed them. Go ahead.
Out of them, and turning away wrath from Israel.
Which means Yahweh wanted Israel to be purged. Everybody understand that? Yahweh wanted the people to be purged. So Yahweh was allowing the Gentiles to come upon us because we were wicked. So when Judas Maccabees started calling out the wickedness and killing people because of the wickedness that they were doing, Yahweh started being nicer. He didn't let the Gentiles do as much evil to us. Right, go ahead.
So that he was renowned unto the utmost part of the earth, and he received unto him such as were ready to perish.
So those people that were just didn't have any more hope, they came to Judas Maccabees. All right, go ahead.
Then Apollonius gathered the Gentiles together, and a great host out of Samaria,
All right, from the northern part of Israel, all right?
to fight against Israel.
Well, way north of Judah. So he gathered people together and had military bases set up in Samaria. And they assembled all the men of war. All right, read.
To fight against Israel. Which thing, when Judas perceived, he went forth to meet him, and so he smote him and slew him.
All right, so Judas said, I'm going to go fight him. And he killed his enemies. All right, go ahead.
Many also fell down slain, but the rest fled.
So they ran. Read.
Wherefore Judas took their spoils, and Apollonius' sword also, and therewith he fought all his life long.
So he took the sword of his enemy and started fighting with it. Okay? And then when we see that out, see the difference is that these people are fighting against us and our land. We're fighting for our land, for our culture, for our religion, for our homes, for our God, for our temple. So we were putting up a much more ferocious fight because we were fighting for all we had. Read.
Now, when Saron, a prince of the army of Syria,
Syria is north of Israel on the coast, all right, where Damascus is now. All right, go ahead.
Heard that Judas had gathered unto him a multitude and company of the faithful to go out with him to war, he said, I will get me a name and honor in the kingdom.
So this man thinks that he's going to go out and fight against Judas. He wanted to fight against Judas for fame. So that's what I'm talking about. We fighting for survival. He's fighting to try to get a name for himself. We're fighting just for our standard and our way of living to be practiced. They're fighting. He's fighting for a name. So that's showing how wicked people are. And that's how people are to you in life. They'll do something and say something about you, mean, wicked, or nasty, or evil, just to try to be famous or just to try to make a name for themselves. All right, so what he's doing, he's clout chasing. Or Judas got beat by these people, so let me go and fight him because I can beat him. All right, go ahead.
He said, I will get me a name and honor in the kingdom. For I will go fight with Judas and them that are with him, who despise the king's commandment. So
they were fighting against us and said that you breaking the Greeks' rulership. You're breaking the rules of the Greeks. So we were breaking the rules that the Greeks had made because we would rather obey Yahweh. So this guy said, I'm going to go out and fight against the Israelites, Saron. I'm going to go fight against the Israelites and get myself a name. Read.
So he made him ready to go up, and there went with him a mighty host of the ungodly to help him. and to be avenged of the children of Yasharallah. Verse 16. And when he came near to the going up of Beth Horon, Judas went forth to meet him with a small company, who, when they saw the host coming to meet them, said unto Judas, how shall we, being so few, to fight against so great a multitude?
That's the same thing they said to when we came out of the wilderness. When we were in the wilderness and we were about to go into the land of Canaan, they saw the giants and said, we can't beat them. So these people are getting a little bit of fear because the army that they're facing is way bigger. All right. When you read the Bible, you see the Most High is usually with the underdog. Look at all the other nations. Look how small our nation is, our ancient territory is. Way smaller than America. All right. So he said, so Judas and them going out to fight, and they see all these this big host of soldiers, much larger army, and they get a little concerned about the fact that they are outnumbered. Read.
Seeing we are ready to faint with fasting all this day.
We've been marching all day, man. We hungry. We can't fight these people. Read.
Unto whom Judas answered, it is no hard matter for many to be shut up in the hands of a few.
Man, y'all, don't worry about it. The Most High is nothing. Read.
And with the Elohai of heaven, it is all one.
Yeah, so it's the same thing with the Most High. If it's a lot of people, he can cause a little bit of people to beat him. It's no big deal. It's nothing for him to do that. Read.
To deliver with a great multitude or a small company.
You see, they said it doesn't matter. We got a bunch of men or a small number of men. It's the same thing. It's the same God. Read. So it's not your circumstances. It's your God. It's the Most High. All right. You got to put trust in Him and what He wants out of the situation, and make sure that you're on His side. All right. Go ahead.
For the victory of battle standeth not in the multitude of an host, but strength comes from heaven.
So you don't win or lose the battle because of how many people you got, but it's according to what Yahweh wants. All right, who He wants to win the battle. So you got to make sure that you are on the side that Yahweh wants to win. Meaning you have to be walking in righteousness, obedience to Yahweh. All right, read.
They come against us in much pride and iniquity to destroy us and our wives and children, and to spoil us. But we fight for our lives.
So you see that? He said, we fighting for our lives. They're not fighting for their lives. We fight for our lives, our livelihood, and our what?
And our laws.
They're fighting for the commandments. They're fighting for Torah. So you have to win your personal battles. You battle yourself every day. You battle people at your school, at your job, for Torah. Because they want to stop you from worshiping the God of Israel. They don't care what else you do, but they want you to stop worshiping the God of Israel. They want you to stop worshiping Yahweh. Read.
Wherefore Yahweh himself will overthrow them before our face. And as for you, be ye not afraid of them.
So he encouraged the people. He didn't criticize them. He didn't condemn them. He said, okay, I understand that, but don't worry. Yahweh is going to deliver the enemy into our hands, and we will win this battle. Read.
Now as soon as he had left off speaking, he leapt suddenly upon them. And so Saron and his host was overthrown before him.
See that? And what you have to understand is that these people are the same people as the Limba and the Haitians. That's who they are now. So that small number of men fought that big number of men, and the small number fought. The small number fought, and they won. Israel won that battle. Right, read.
Verse 24. And they pursued them from the going down of Beth Horon unto the plain, where were slain about 800 men of them, and the residue fled into the land of the Philistines. Then began the fear of Judas and his brethren, and an exceeding great dread, to fall upon the nations round about them.
So they were very good at war, and Yahweh was with them. All right, read.
Insomuch as his fame came to the king, and all nations talked of the battles of Judas.
So Antiochus Epiphanes, he heard about the battles being lost, and that the Israelites were beating the troops that were coming against them. All right, go ahead.
Now when King Antiochus heard these things, he was full of indignation, Wherefore he sent and gathered together all the forces of his realm.
So he said, we're going to gather all of the people together so we can fight this battle against this little piece of land called Israel. A little piece of land called Israel. One of the things you have to understand about Israel is that Israel has a lot of mountains. So if you're coming from Israel, into Jerusalem, specifically, you have to come up mountains and down mountains. All right? So if you get somebody coming down a mountain trying to come up, you have the advantage because you can just shoot down at them. You can understand of how everything was set up in the terrain. I mean, you all have been to Jerusalem, all those mountains over there. All right? So imagine you up here around the hills over here, and somebody's coming to fight you at the bottom of the hill. You're going to have the advantage. But then when you meet them on the battlefield, you coming downhill, they're going uphill, whatever the case may be, but that's your terrain, that's your land. All right, go ahead.
Wherefore he sent and gathered together all the forces of his realm.
So he got all of his army together.
Even a very strong army.
Read.
He opened also his treasure and gave his soldiers pay for a year.
So he said, spare no expense. I want these Israelites killed. I want them murdered. I want them gone. And he paid all of his soldiers for 1 year. He said, I'm going to give y'all a year's worth of money. And they sent that money back to their families, to their wives, so they could be dedicated and focused on the battle. Don't worry about your money. Read.
Commanding them to be ready whensoever he should need them.
All right, so look, I paid you for a year. All right, I'm not going to pay you for another 12 months. So when I call you, you come out to fight. That's how desperate he was to stop us from obeying Yahweh and to follow the ways of the Gentiles. But now we've been tricked into following the ways of the Gentiles. Read.
Nevertheless, when he saw that the money of his treasures failed, and that the tributes in the country were small because of the dissension and plague, which he had brought upon the land in taking away the laws which had been of old time.
So he said that because he basically destroyed everybody's civil structures. And it disrupted the economy, the travel, the trade routes, how the businesses operated. It disrupted everything. Read.
Verse 30.
Mm-hmm.
He feared that he should not be able to bear the charges any longer.
So he feared that he didn't have enough money to pay for the battle. Sounds familiar. Same thing happened with who? The Haitians, which is the tribe of Levi, which are fighting with Judas Maccabees, and the French. Same thing. Right? The French lost a lot of money, so they had to sell. They had to give up all of Louisiana going north all the way up to Canada. A big, wide territory, they had to give it all up. Why? Because they were spending so much money fighting the Haitians. And they were losing money fighting the Haitians. All right, read that part again.
He feared that he should not be able to bear the charges any longer, nor to have such gifts to give so liberally as he did before. For he had abounded above the kings that were before him.
Which means what? He had a lot of money, but because of this battle of trying to fight against the Israelites, he went broke, lost a lot of money. All right, so he's fighting in the physical, and we fighting in the spirit. Khan?
Khan.
So he's fighting in the spirit. He's fighting he's fighting the spiritual battle against us, but he's using carnal weapons, and the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, right? So, and we got to pour down these strongholds. So you have to learn how to associate the political and the social environment of Israel along with the spiritual and the religious part of Israel. They were inseparable. But once we got taken out of the political and social part of Israel, people held on to the religious part of it, and some people added on extra stuff because we didn't have the temple anymore. And some people just stuck with whatever we had written down already, and didn't try to change stuff, didn't try to make stuff seem like it was out of order or something needs to be added on to it. All right, so that's the reading for today. We finished. That's 30 verses. We'll come back tomorrow and read another 30 verses. If you got any questions, as always, go ahead and send me a message. Ask me in the comment section. Hit me on the inbox. And also remember that the way people do Hanukkah now with the lighting of candles, if you look in the Talmud, the Babylonian Talmud, you look in the section about the Shabbat, 21b, that's where it comes from. That's not something that the Israelites that follow Hamashiach in the 1st century were doing. All right, that was a religious practice of the Israelites that rejected Hamashiach, and they made up a story about oil, and it lasted for so many days. So they wanted you to put the menorah in your window so people can see it. All right, but that's not what happened. The menorah, the candlestick, plays no central role in the events of Hanukkah. All right, everybody, thanks for sharing your time with us. Shalom.